Hello and welcome back. Today's video is going to be a Sephora VIB sale recommendations video. I have not done one of these in a while. The sale starts October 30th for Rouge and it starts November 3rd for VIB and it goes through November 9th. I personally am not Rouge, I am VIB, so I get 15% off. However, if you are Rouge, you do get 20% off, which I do think is a bigger deal. Personally, I don't buy a ton of stuff at Sephora. I just feel like I can find better deals elsewhere, but I do know that a lot of people like the convenience of shopping at Sephora, and also depends on where you live in the world. Sephora may or may not be the most convenient place for you to purchase products, and you can get free shipping at times, where there's other websites, sometimes shipping is more expensive. So there's kind of a lot that goes into it, that makes me decide where I purchase specific products. Something I've noticed in the last year is that I can often find better deals on the specific brand websites. Particularly, I found, Natasha, Denona, Mcgrath. I have found better deals on their personal websites over what I have found at Sephora. But again, also that depends on where you live and how much the shipping may cost and things like that. So I'm going to give you some of my personal recommendations if you are interested. Obviously, I always say, if you are not going to buy something anyway, I would not buy something just because it's on sale, because then, we're kind of getting duped by the sale. Personally, I'll share a couple of things that I may be interested in, but I really don't know that I'll buy much makeup. I may more just replenish some skincare and hair care that I need, but yeah, we shall see, and let's get into the video. And I will list the dates and the coupon codes in the description box so that you can find those there. I'll start with a brand, Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to actually mention a couple of things that I like from her, but I don't love, but I know that a lot of other people do love these products. One is her powder. This is $45 full price. So even 20% off or 15%, it's not that much, but obviously I have a pan on this and I do like this powder. I personally don't feel that it is amazing. I have the shade 2 medium, and yeah, last I checked, she did not have a lot of shades for this, but I think she was going to be expanding it. Yeah, personally, to me, this is only an okay product, but I'm mentioning it because I know a ton of people, this is their holy grail powder. For me, only okay. Something else from her that I know a lot of people love, I don't know that I love, is her lipsticks. I have the color Bitch Perfect. It's just a peachy neutral shade. I think this is a good formula. I don't think it is amazing. I do think part of it with Charlotte Tilbury, you're kind of paying for the name and the packaging and the luxury experience. Her lipsticks are $34. Some are a little bit more expensive. She has some in some special edition packaging that is around $37. So again, I think this is very good. I don't think they're the best things ever, but I know that they are some very, very hyped up products. Something from her though that is a newer purchase for me that I've had for a little over a month is one of her quads. And I really wanted to try her formula. Her quads are $53. And actually, I'm really surprised. This is a very beautiful formula. This is the Rock Chic quad. It is very gray, silver. And I looked through my collection. I don't really have anything exactly like this. And this sparkly silver is so pretty on the eyes. I'm actually really impressed with this formula. I would like to try some of her other quads, but from what I've seen, they can be hit or miss. Some of them get better reviews than others. Personally, I think the Rock Chic is really nice, and 20% off, $53, that's pretty good. 15%, only okay, but this is something I do enjoy. Probably my favorite and most used item I have from Charlotte Tilbury is the Film Star Bronze and Glow. And this full price is $68. This is something I did get 20% off. Like the 1 year that I was Rouge, I haven't been Rouge in about 3 years, but there was 1 year that I was, and I did get this 20% off at that time. Obviously, I've had major pan on this highlighter. It is a subtle, nice champagne highlighter. This is a contour shade. She does also have a darker version of this duo. I think this is a beautiful, finely milled formula. It's not like a glittery intense highlighter, but it just looks really nice, and this blends out very well, not choppy at all. For my skin tone, I use this as either a contour or also a bronzer. For me, it works for both. Personally, I do like this, and I think at 20% off, this actually would be a really good deal. The next item I want to mention is something I've talked about a ton, and that is this Marc Jacobs bronzer. This is probably still my favorite bronzer in my collection. This is the one in Tantastic, and I did particularly want to mention this because it's currently on sale for $34. So if it's still in stock at the time of the VIB sale, you would get either 15 or 20% off in addition to it being only $34. When full price, this is $49. I'm actually really surprised this is still in stock in their sales section, because at one point this was one of the most hyped up bronzers. I think a lot of people have moved on though. I have heard amazing things about the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. I've been tempted to purchase that myself. It is also about $50. I think you get more product in this though, but I have enough bronzers. But yeah, the reviews on that is amazing. However, if you've wanted this and it's still in stock at the $34, I mean, yeah, this is amazing, blends out easily, and they do have other colors, and I think the other colors were on sale too last time I checked. All right, next up I want to talk about an eyeshadow palette that I know I have raved about a lot, and that is the Viseart Warm Mattes. I do also have one of the all shimmer palettes from Viseart. I have the one that's called Boheme Dream. That one I didn't see sold at Sephora. I bought that off the Viseart website, and I bought this off the Viseart website too. So Viseart does a lot of 20% off sales, and some even better than that on their actual website. So if it's a brand you've really wanted to try, you may want to check their website over Sephora. Again, shipping and things like that may vary. But I got this for 20% off on the Viseart website back in May, and I love this palette. I have used it so much. I don't really know that you can even tell how much I've used it, but I use this on an almost everyday basis to at least like blend some shades together and things like that. This is one of the best matte formulas I've ever tried. Like I said, I got this 20% off, so I paid $64. $80 is the full price, which I think is a lot. I don't think I would pay full price for Viseart, but on sale, personally, I have found that it has been worth it because I've just used this palette so much. And again, some of the best matte eyeshadows I've personally tried. Oh, when I was talking about Charlotte Tilbury, I totally forgot to mention this. This actually is really nice. This is the Flawless Filter, and this is $44, which I feel like for Charlotte Tilbury is not that expensive. And it is 1 fluid ounce. It comes in multiple shades. I have shade 1 Fair. To me, this is basically a liquid highlighter, but I know that a lot of people also use it as a luminous primer. It's very subtle. However, I have loved mixing this in with my foundation. It is beautiful. Again, it's subtle, it's nothing crazy. It's not like those Cover FX highlighting drops or anything like that. But I have found that this is a beautiful formula. And I know I mentioned in another video, I bought this because I finished my only one other liquid highlighter that is by Iconic London, which is $44 for 0.45 fluid ounces. And this is $44 for 1 fluid ounce. So I was totally shocked that Charlotte Tilbury product was cheaper than Iconic London, but for me, this was worth the $44. I didn't even get this on sale because I only own one liquid highlighter in my collection, and I just really enjoy this. Like I said, it's a pretty subtle product, but it's really beautiful and I've been really enjoying it. This next product is something I really enjoy, but I'm kind of putting this in the category of you may find better deals elsewhere, and that is this Becca Primer. This is the purple one. I never remember what it's called. Okay, it's the First Light Priming Filter. And this is, obviously it looks purple, but once you put it on the face, it turns clear. I have combination skin. However, I do like that this is a bit moisturizing, but it's also a bit smoothing. This is a beautiful primer. Now, again, this is something I got at the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty for 50% off. It's $40 and I got it for, I think it was about $19. So, you know, if you wait for that, it'll probably be on sale again. But again, this is, personally, I actually really do like this, and I've had a deluxe size in the past, really enjoyed it. So, you know, I think if I finished this, getting this at 15 or 20% off for me would be worth it, just because I don't own a lot of primers, and this is one I really enjoy because I feel like it's a bit hydrating but also smoothing. Right, I want to talk about Mcgrath Labs because I had never tried this brand until the last year, and I have completely fallen in love One of my favorite things is the lip glosses. I know a lot of people are not buying lip products right now, and I personally also am not buying lip products right now. However, I do love the Pat McGrath glosses. They are in my probably top 2 formulas, along with the NYX butter glosses, which I know is kind of crazy that those are my 2 favorites, but they are, and the prices vary very much. But they do have these sets of minis. You can get 3 of the Pat McGrath minis for $25. This is the color Divine Rose. They all are sold also in a full size. The full size is $28. This is a pinky mauve shade. I really do like this one. I just find that this formula is so smooth and so shiny. I absolutely love it. They are expensive, $28 for a full size, but I think the mini sets, if you do like all 3 colors, would be worth it to try out. You don't get a lot of product in these. They're about 0.05 fluid ounces. The full sizes are only 0.17 fluid ounces. I've already finished 4 of these minis because I bought 2 of her mini sets, and I only have 2 colors left. I have this one and one other one. It's a good formula though. However, I have mentioned before that Pat McGrath Labs, they have amazing sales on their website. I have found a lot of things on sale for 20% off, sometimes even 30 to 50% off, and they tend to have a lot of sales, particularly around various holidays. So again, that may be something to consider. Something else that is currently on sale though, it's on sale on Pat McGrath and also on Sephora. This is one of the mini palettes by Pat McGrath. She only has 2. They've been on sale for a while. I wonder if she's going to be discontinuing them. I'm not sure. Personally, I think this is an amazing formula. I know some people feel like maybe the mini palettes are not as good as the full size. In my personal opinion, they are, and I can't say the same for Natasha Denona, just my personal experience. This is the mini Sublime, and these are just 5 neutral. These are all metallic. This is like a matte satin. It essentially looks like a matte on the eyes though, because the shimmers basically fall away to nothing. I think this is a beautiful formula, very metallic. I do not need a wet brush, and it's on sale for $14. The other one, the Mini Subversive, right now I just checked and it was sold out on Sephora. So I don't know. I mean, if this is still around at the time of the sale, $14 plus 20% off or 15% off, I think that's an amazing deal. As I mentioned, I got this 20% off on the Pat McGrath website way earlier this year, like back in March or April. So again, you could check there, but if you're waiting for the VIB sale and this is still in stock, I do recommend it. Personally, the packaging is pretty cheapy though. I don't mind that at all. Now, the big palettes, I only have 1 of the large Mothership palettes. This is the Mothership 2 Sublime. These are a lot. They're $124, and this is something I got for a Christmas gift. I just felt like I couldn't quite shell out the cash. I do love it though. I really do. I've done a tutorial with this palette, and these are her kind of special glittery shades. I do find them a little difficult to work with, and they can have a lot of fallout. Her mattes are amazing though, and these satin shades I absolutely love. I've used this palette over 100 times. It's in my project 100 uses. Well, it was, and it doesn't even look like it. I mean, you really do get a lot of product in these, and obviously you're also paying for the luxurious packaging. You know, personally, I've wanted to buy another one of these, but it's a really big price tag, and I've wanted to get one that I would love as much as this one. And some of them, you know, there'll be a shade or 2 I'm not as interested in. And at that price point, for only this many eyeshadows, I want to make sure I love all the colors. And I probably would want to get a better deal. So this is something I would maybe buy more of these if I could get 25 or 30% off on the Pat McGrath website. We'll see. Around holidays, like I said, she does tend to have a lot of sales. I did just want to mention something else from Becca that used to be so hyped up and nobody talks about their highlighters anymore. This is Prosecco Pop, and personally, I still really like their highlighters. They are quite subtle though compared to a lot of the very popular formulas out there. They're really finely milled, and Prosecco Pop is, I mean, it's just a yellow gold, but I really like this one. I've hit pan on it. Their full sizes are $38, which personally I think is a lot. If I were to get more, I would get the minis because they do have some small sizes for around $20. And I feel like that is a better deal. And they do sometimes have some sets where you get a mini with one of the mini liquid ones. you know, so I don't know that I'd pay full price for these full sizes anymore, just because $38 is a lot for one highlighter, but I still enjoy the Becca formula. It is a very finely milled, not as intense, no glitters at all type formula. There's a palette that I've had for a while and I just have not had a chance to talk about it on my channel yet, but that is the Smashbox Punked palette. They do sell this at Sephora and also at Ulta. I purchased it at Ulta with Ulta points, and this really surprised me. I really wanted to try these because a few years ago, people were talking about these palettes all the time, but now Smashbox is a brand that nobody talks about. So I got this one and the Ablaze one with Ulta points. I haven't used the Ablaze one yet, I know, but this I've used like at least 4 or 5 times, and I'm so impressed with this formula. This is a more purpley cool toned palette, which is a little bit different. There are so many warm toned palettes out there. I do want to give you some swatches. I was surprised. I really thought that because nobody talks about these anymore, that it wouldn't be good for whatever reason, but it's really good and it's much more pigmented than I thought it would be. The mattes blend so well, and the shimmers, so it's these 4 colors that I swatched there. These shimmers are beautiful, and I wear these without a wet brush and they stay on the eyes and they look this metallic without a wet brush, which is pretty impressive. So I mean, full price, these little palettes are $29, which I think is actually a pretty fair price. Obviously, you don't get as many eyeshadows as other brands, but I think it's a really nice curated color story. And for an additional discount, I'm really impressed with this. So personally, I have found that it is worth it. I really need to use the Ablaze one. It is very beautiful, but yeah, this one I've used and it is really good. Alrighty, I do just want to mention Hourglass. I did get the sculpture palette and I ended up not doing a review on it. Personally, I was disappointed. I really thought that they were going to release multiple palettes for multiple skin tones, and it's really disappointing that they didn't do that. They haven't done that. Yeah, kind of a bummer, because when the initial promo pictures came out, I actually thought that this one and the 4-pan one that they released were darker than they ended up being in real life. So if you are of a deeper skin tone, I highly recommend watching Vicky J's video and also Kinky Sweat. They both reviewed this collection, so I'll link their videos in the description box if you want to see that. I have been enjoying this palette, but I have this one and the Ghost palette, and I'm just at the point where I don't need any more of these. They're always the same every year. I will say though, personally, I do like these colors more than the ones in the Ghost palette now that I've used it. 2 of them are the same, so dim light, diffuse light, they put those in all their palettes. Personally, I like them though. I like to use those as finishing powders. The highlighter in this year's palette is more of a champagne color, and I actually like this one more than the highlighter in the Ghost palette. The bronzer, personally, I don't like this bronzer or the one in the Ghost palette. I don't know. I just feel like Hourglass bronzers aren't for me. I just feel like they look a little muddy on my skin. I'm not sure if it's the undertone or what the deal is, but probably my favorite shade in this is this blush, which is called, hold on, let me check. It's Mood Exposure, which is one of their permanent blushes. It is a purpley type mauve. I am so impressed with this blush. Let's see if I can swatch it. Yeah, Hourglass, it doesn't swatch well, so there's really no point, but it's a beautiful plummy blush, and it's my favorite thing in this whole palette. So I guess if I could recommend one thing from this, it'd probably be to get this blush if you don't already own it, because it's permanent. So I don't know, I just have a lot of mixed feelings on Hourglass right now. I wish they would cater more to all skin tones, and also they release the same things over and over. Just my opinion, I just don't feel like I need any more of their palettes, but that blush in particular, which is sold individually, and it's also sold in a mini. So you can get a lot of their blushes in a mini for about $24. That's probably what I would recommend, just because blush takes so long to finish up. I will say though, if you're gonna buy one of their minis, something that you think you'd use a lot, like one of the finishing powders, I have finished a few of those in the past. You can finish one of those in about 3 months. There isn't a ton of product. Well, actually, I will say the minis are actually the same size as these little ones. So something to keep in mind. But as far as foundation, it's hard to buy foundation if you can't get a sample, you know, or things like that. But I know that they are color matching people at Sephora now, I have heard. My favorite high-end foundation is still Estee Lauder Double Wear. I have combination skin and I just haven't found anything else that is this long lasting, and to me it's natural looking on the skin even though it's full coverage. I find that this does not get cakey on me, whereas a lot of other full coverage foundation does. So this is still my current favorite, but a lot of my favorite foundations are drugstore, honestly. The e.l.f., the Catrice, so I don't know. I just don't buy high-end foundation all that often anymore. I will say though that I am considering buying the Fenty, the hydrating one, because I do have a sample of it that I got right before the whole pandemic happened, and the color matches me really well and it looks really nice throughout the day. Even though I have combination skin, it actually lasted better than I thought. So personally, I am considering purchasing that and I've really enjoyed the sample that I have. And last up, I just want to mention Natasha Denona. The Metropolis palette is still one of my favorite palettes of all time. This is $129. This is one of the few things I've paid full price for. It is beautiful. I have hit pan on it. I love these shades. The quality is amazing. The metallics are so metallic. The mattes blend so well. Still one of my favorite palettes in my collection, and I don't regret getting it for full price at all. So, you know, if you could get this 20% off, personally, for me, it would have been worth it. You know, I have found that it's been worth it for me to have paid full price. But again, you know, that's pretty expensive. Something else to consider with Natasha Denona is if you stalk her website, she will occasionally put random palettes on sale. A few months ago, it was only lasted for 2 days, but she did have the gold palette on sale for 30% off, and I did buy it at that time. So it was $90 instead of $129, which is still really, really expensive. And if you follow me on Instagram, I did mention this on Instagram. I bought her bundle of these two palettes. I got the two 28 pan palettes. I know, so expensive. These are full price $239. So, you know, 20% off of these, personally, I don't feel like that's the big that big of a discount. This one is the purple blue. I've been really enjoying these. I have not even used every shade so far, but yeah. So I got the bundle for the two palettes for $310. I know that is still so crazy expensive, but just in general, I think if you can kind of monitor her website, because she does some deals there, but I don't know. I mean, if you can get any of the palettes, some of her palettes are not as expensive, like the $65 ones. You know, they're definitely more affordable than obviously this thing, which is insane. And even Metropolis at $129, you know, the gold palette's also $129. I don't know. I love Natasha Denona, but I personally have a hard time justifying the price. I'm not sure that it's justified, especially at that higher price point. The $65 ones, I have one of those. I have the Sunrise one. I did not bring it over here. I haven't not reviewed that yet on my channel. I got it about a month and a half ago. I'm going to be ranking all my Natasha Denona palettes, so I want to use them more. I'll just mention though, personally, that one, I don't think it's as good quality as these. So I'm not sure, but I know that people love the bronze one and the new glam one. Hard to say. And she also has the mini palettes. I have two of those, and I think that those are good, but I don't think that they're as good as the full size. But they're only $25, so it's kind of also a great way to try the brand. And the two, I have the mini nude and the mini lila. They are really good. They're not bad, but these are better. So again, I kind of have some mixed thoughts on Natasha Denona. I think also just depends on what you're interested in and the potential discounts, but personally, I have found that, again, her website has some better deals there. Alrighty, that is it for this video. So those are my kind of recommendations, I guess. I feel like half of these products I was kind of iffy about and said that you could probably find a better deal elsewhere, but that's kind of how I feel about Sephora in general. You know, just my thoughts. Obviously, everybody has different preferences and things like that, and also depends on where you live, you know, because some of these websites do have expensive international shipping. So something to consider all around. Please let us know if you're going to be getting anything. Personally, the only makeup thing I'm really considering is the Fenty foundation, and then I may get another of my favorite shampoo, which I'm also out of, the Verb Ghost shampoo. That's my favorite, so I may purchase that. Maybe skincare, I don't know. There's nothing I'm really running out of except The Ordinary. And for their other sales, they excluded The Ordinary, but that's because it's also so cheap. So I don't mind paying full price for that. That is it for this video. Let us know if you're going to be shopping this sale. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.